what's going on? Welcome to the Empire. We're about to start this session off right. Got a little cops video that we're about to review. Welcome to the Empire. If you ain't got your blunt lit, light that motherfucker right now. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Young woman really be leading them to the scene of a murder and arson. Just what happened in this sleepy little town, and what would draw investigators some 1,700 miles away and to an arrest in the dangerous cartel hotbed of Juarez, Mexico?
Yeah, I think that shit's coming from control. I'm gonna have to switch it.
I don't feel bad about it.
We know when you ready to hop on, cuz.
I'm on.
Damn, they got just started the video. Damn. Shit.
Before we begin,
even get
we
to
would
the
like
intro.
to extend our deepest sympathies to the family and loved ones of Nicole Jones, a mother who took in her adult son and the troubles that would follow him.
You fuck with
Juarez,
the fire under
Mexico
it, cuz?
is one of the world's most dangerous cities.
Yeah, that
a
shit
border
hard.
town with a heavy drug cartel presence and rampant
I put
crime.
that right there because I be getting
On
bad
May
as
the
fuck.
8th, two American citizens, a man and a teenaged girl, were spotted attempting to sell jewelry on the streets of that city. The two were quickly picked up by Mexican authorities who wanted to make sure the man wasn't attempting to traffic the young woman. There was no way they could have known that the two people they were taking in to protect were actually involved in a heinous crime some 1,700 miles away. The two quickly identified themselves to Mexican police as 33-year-old Jonathan Jones of
He
Sylvania
just look like a weirdo. Look at this nigga smiling in his mugshot. Like somebody used to punch out at school.
Township, Ohio, and 17-year-old Caitlin Coons of
Her last name is Coons. She pop pills and want to be around black people. We know.
Canton, Ohio.
Nigga stupid.
Caitlin explained that she was with Jonathan willingly and was in no danger. While the officers were verifying their identities, a search of the car they had been traveling in turned up a very small amount of marijuana. Jonathan told the officers the marijuana was his and that he had been told that possession of such a small amount in Mexico was not against the law. The police informed him that that information was wrong,
How you gonna tell
and
the
he was
police
arrested and
the
taken to
fucking
the
law?
local
What is
jail.
wrong with this nigga?
Since Caitlin was a minor and an American citizen, the Mexican authorities handed her over to police in El Paso, Texas,
Got
which
her
sits
ass.
just on the other side of the border between the U.S. and Mexico from Juarez. The authorities there wouldn't be taking her into protective custody, though. A trail of questions had finally caught up with Caitlin, one that had begun with an encounter with U.S. Border Patrol officers days before in New Mexico. One that seemed routine at the time that left Caitlin and Jonathan
what is
to
she
go
doing
free,
with this old
just one day
chicken
ahead
little
of
ass
some
nigga?
very disturbing news. During the encounter with the U.S. Border Patrol, the officers had
weird,
found
man.
out that Jonathan had an arrest warrant out for his arrest from Woods County, Ohio. He had missed a court date, and it had been days since his ankle monitor had reported his whereabouts.
He's
Both
on the
Caitlin
run.
and Jonathan would say that the Border Patrol officers let them go after saying that their job was to watch for things and people coming across the border to the U.S. and not the other way around. Hours later, a notice from Canton,
shit.
Ohio would come in to those same Border Patrol officers that there was a missing juvenile report out on Caitlin. By that time, the pair had moved on
Hold
to Texas
on.
and
He
were
like
headed to
20,
the El
33
Paso
and she
area.
17?
The Border Patrol officers got back in touch with the investigative detective in
Is that what
Ohio
it just
and
said?
let him know that they had not just seen Caitlin, but Jonathan as well, and the two had been driving a 2021 Buick Encore registered to his
Them
mother,
niggas was
Nicole.
driving.
Meanwhile,
They is on
Caitlin's
Ohio to
social
Mexico?
worker had
That's a
alerted
minute,
the
ain't it?
police to a text
It's
she
like
had
4
received
days.
from the young woman, one with a very disturbing admission. A text that said she had been involved in 2 murders and an arson. The detective was unable to reach Nicole by telephone, so he called the police in her hometown to do a wellness check on the woman. Because of the warrant out for Jonathan, members
You
of
watched
the
this already,
U.S.
Danny?
Marshals Fugitive Recovery Unit were also dispatched to that location.
Regional dispatch, non-emergency.
Yeah, this is Detective Sedaris from the Canton Police Department.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I am investigating a possible kidnapping involving a Jonathan Jones.
Hold on.
They were stopped in Arizona by the Border Patrol in a Nicole Jones vehicle. That's Jonathan's mom. Now, the 17-year-old girl that is with Jonathan, who has a nationwide pickup, texted and said that they murdered Jonathan's mother, somebody else, and set a house on fire.
This nigga crazy.
And we're just checking the
Your
safety,
own mammy,
or
nigga?
we want to find out about the vehicle, or?
Well, I know the vehicle's in Arizona because the Border Patrol stopped it 4 hours ago. But I just want to, make sure Nicole's all right.
And Nicole's last name again is?
Jones.
Who's Nicole?
So her vehicle's in Arizona.
Is
with
Nicole the
her
daughter?
son, Or no?
Yeah, no, her
I'm a
son,
little higher, you
Jonathan,
gotta bear with me.
was with a 17-year-old official missing.
Okay, no.
Caitlin
Nicole was the mama.
Sylvania Township Police and U.S. Marshals, upon arriving at the home, found it locked and no one coming to the door. A package was on the doorstep, delivered some days before, and no one had picked up the mail. Once again, Nicole could not be reached at any of the contact numbers they or the gated community property manager had
Killed his
available.
mama, took the car.
This information is third
Nigga was on
hand,
house
but
arrest.
we know her car is, and because we know the Border Patrol stopped that car down by Arizona.
It's now in Mexico.
We don't know. They're
Oh.
trying to find it right now. They got an airplane up and they're trying to locate it and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so it was.
But this is pretty concerning with the package out there and what they're saying.
Well, we
and
did call the fire department to 4th Century.
Has where the fuck
They
is
have
this?
seen her. She said she's
What you
odd.
looking for, cuz?
So
What about the garage? Is the garage door open?
No, garage doors aren't.
Do you know what the code is?
No, we don't have keys or codes or any of that.
Was that the HOA?
So let's stop for a moment and take a look at the persons involved in this story. Caitlin Coons was a 17-year-old woman who had run away from home
Can I-
numerous times from the ages of 12 to 14.
Oh, my
Originally
God.
from Akron, Ohio, she would move around the state over the next few years,
Bruh.
going into a number of social services programs and group homes, staying with them for a few months, and then running away again. She would be in and out of trouble throughout those years, also developing an eating disorder that at times would require hospitalization. It was one of those facilities she had escaped from when she met Jonathan Jones in August of 2022 through an online dating app.
On your way.
Jonathan was a 32-year-old Army veteran who had served for 12 months overseas in Kandahar,
That nigga crazy. Look at him. That nigga crazy. I can tell already. Ain't no way, boy.
Afghanistan,
I think he's
before
like
being
33.
discharged
Oh
from the
my.
service with a
32.
partial disability
17.
in 2011. According to his own testimony, Jonathan had been hit in the head by a piece of armor plate while performing maintenance duties and suffered injuries that left him with minor memory issues and tinnitus, or ringing of the ears. On returning home from
Was that on
overseas, he
duty?
had divorced his wife and went on to have 2 children with a girlfriend in the following years. He had had a tough time holding down a job, and the relationship ended. He would end up coming home to live with his mother, Nicole Jones, who had been given a home in Sylvania Township by her own father. 53-year-old Nicole Jones was twice divorced and spent most of her adult life working as a phlebotomist at the local hospital. Abusive
What the fuck is a phlebotomist?
relationships had taken their toll on her over the years, and she was unable to
What you
work.
playing, cuz?
She
What you
spent
talking
most of her days within the home. She was very
Told
devoted
you I was
to her
getting
son
on, man.
and apparently had become very protective of
watching
not
this,
just
cuz.
him,
Watching this.
but the life they shared together. In short, Jonathan and Caitlin fell in love, and Nicole didn't want them to be together because of the 16-year age difference
My
between
mama.
the two. It came to a head when they were arrested in Woods County, Ohio, and Jonathan would spend 5 months awaiting trial for contributing to the delinquency of a minor and pandering. Able to finally make bond, Jonathan returned to his mother's home,
Right,
now
never
with
had
an ankle monitor on and under court orders to
Never
not
had
have
no
any
issues.
contact with Caitlin. It didn't take long before Caitlin showed up on his doorstep and Jonathan snuck her into the house where she hid out in a bathroom. Nicole had no idea that Caitlin was in the home, and then things took a disastrous turn. So let's go back to the police and the U.S. Marshals at Nicole Jones' home. After making entry, they walk into the small home, and what they come across looks nothing like a crime scene. The place is messy and obviously lived in, but there were no signs of even a struggle, much less a murder. And there was no body,
So where's she
and it
at?
was readily apparent that there had been no attempt at arson within or around the home. There were no signs of Nicole either. Many of the items that one would expect her to use in her day-to-day life, including her prescription medications, were all present. If she had planned on leaving for an extended period, surely she would have taken such items with her. There's no sign that her son Jonathan had been there for some time either. A messy desk with drink cans and cigarette packages littering it showed no signs of having been disturbed for some time, indicating that no one else had been there for some time either.
Bro, he's thinking his son.
Police department.
Didn't they just say it wasn't shit in there? So why they showing me the video of them searching? There was no slime, no struggle. Everything looked ready. There was no arson.
Yeah, that car's in Douglas, Arizona.
They have one car?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
I wonder if they could have did this arson somewhere else.
How about the garage? Did you guys check the garage?
Yes.
Anything in there?
You would have heard it.
No, I meant, is there any vehicles in
No.
So this right here was rotted.
How does anybody in vehicles sound the same?
Yeah, of course.
Why don't you, Dave, check that mailbox and see what is in there.
Okay.
What kind of mail?
All right.
No, you're dating it. Go back.
Yes, the detective from Lake said that this guy was supposed to move in to take care of her. This other detective from White House, or from
I'm not saying nothing wrong
Lake,
with
said
you
that
down
he
your
ran
shit,
into
but grown as hell.
John and Caitlin in January in their jurisdiction. So, and he said she's the brains of the operation.
The officers and marshals are left to wait for a
Come on, Caleb, I
forensic
bet
team
she
to
is.
arrive. They know that just
17-year-old
because
girl,
something
like
doesn't
this nigga
outwardly
been
look
divorced,
like
got
a crime scene,
girlfriend and
it doesn't
4
mean
kids.
that there aren't answers to be discovered. The men discuss what they know about the case and the people so far. One of the marshals joins back in with more insights into the case.
Says, I just killed 2 people and I did 2 arsons. I'm in deep trouble. And they don't know I'm away from Ohio and about what and that was kind of the end of it.
And there's the money?
That's
Is that
what-
her holding the money?
I don't know. I'm guessing this is her phone because clearly it says, right, Caitlin, whatever. But so Canton PD detectives are working that side of it.
Jesus. All right, that's why we're going to get a detective down here.
Hey, mom's
Start-
probably in the trunk.
And what?
I said, that dude's mom's probably in the trunk.
Who knows? I mean, I don't know what income, maybe she, they milked her for that, or who knows?
I
But I'm saying if they don't have a car, I wonder if they could see if they could put a locator to stop it at the border if they're trying to cross the
We've already done that, and they got
Like,
airplanes
straight
up
up,
right now.
straight
Oh, awesome.
halfway through it.
So
Not halfway.
I don't know, man. I think this is definitely the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, not gonna look good.
No,
Not gonna
I don't
turn
think so
out.
either.
Now, let's shift our focus south, far south. Mexican authorities have handed Caitlin over to police in El Paso, Texas, and they have alerted them that within the seized car they found Nicole Jones' wallet, social security card, her credit cards, her ID, and health insurance information, and a camouflaged backpack with burgundy stains on it. Caitlin, now being held in the El Paso Border Patrol office, is taken into a room for questioning. FBI Special Agents Colette Baumley and Hannah Mazza come in. They are well aware that something has happened, but they need information about what really went down in Ohio
Where's the
and
mama
along the
at?
way to Mexico. They know Caitlin has that information, and to get it, they try to build a rapport with the young woman first in hopes that she will open up.
So we're here because we just want to talk to you, figure out what happened, how you made it down there, if you were treated okay, because obviously
she would make it seem like it's your friend.
I already talked to the police about it. In Mexico? Yes.
That's Mexico, nigga. This is the USA. What the fuck? He talked to the police in Mexico. What the fuck?
I was just down here for a week or so, and then when I went to go use the bathroom, that's when the Mexican police pulled me aside and was like, "You're gonna have to come with us. You don't have a traveling visa." Okay. That's what happened. And besides that, nothing else happened. Like I've been to a couple Mexican restaurants. I've slept at a couple motels here and there. Like that's it. Okay. There's nothing deep. I went on a killing spree. No, it's not what happened.
Bitch, did nobody ask you that?
And
you tell them on yourself.
I came to Mexico because I was looking for a new beginning.
The two FBI agents are kind to her and continue building a level of trust. They spend time discussing her relationship with Jonathan, asking if she cares about him, and taking a few minutes to hear a story of how he had taken care of a stray cat the two had taken in before his arrest in October the year before.
Who were you traveling with? The person, he ended up having to go to jail because they found marijuana in the car, even though
they help you guys.
Go with it or whatever.
This shit ain't funny, man.
I was with him, and they took him, and then they said since I'm in Mexico, apparently you can't be alone in Mexico if you're a child. And I was like, well, I'm about to be 18, and I'm literally in Ohio, USA. When I was 13, that's when I was allowed to go off on my own. So,
What is wrong with this bitch? Why does she not realize Mexico and the USA is two different places?
I met him before the car accident, and I met him at a store, and that was whenever I broke out of the Emmons program, which was an abusive eating disorder program. And whenever I was at the store, I gave him my number and I left. And then a few days after that, after living out on the streets, I turned myself in, and I stayed in contact with him ever since. And he's just been a caring person, so I ended up dating him because I'm about to be 18. Okay. But we haven't done it.
You ended up dating because you're about to be 18. That doesn't even make sense.
Just sounds like he was a friend. Right? Boyfriend. He treated you very well. That's what I mean. He treated you.
That shit makes sense to you.
Very well. Yeah. He made sure I ate. Made sure the cat was eating. Whenever we did get the cat, he always checked up on his mom. He's just very caring. Okay.
This is a grown ass man.
Do you by any chance know kind of what a dangerous area you were in? No. I did see the Militara and the police drive by and stuff, but they were driving around.
This bitch just said the police.
Anything was gonna happen, and I know how to defend myself because I grew up in the hood of Ohio, so I know how to.
She keeps saying Ohio.
And, I've been in fights with girls my age.
She grew up in the hood of Ohio. What did you say? Somebody right now, tell me in the chat. Who the fuck? Where is the hood of Ohio? Where is this at? Bitch grew up in the suburbs. You see that house? It's you grew up in the hood of Ohio.
Right. So I get it, and I have no doubt that you can defend yourself.
They then turn the questions back to test the waters with Caitlin about Nicole.
Does Nikki know that Jonathan's in jail in Mexico? I don't know. I haven't talked to him since he got diagnosed. So I don't know if he called her or if the police called or what happened with that. I do not know. She knows everyone. Yeah, like I said, we offered her to come with us, right? When was the last time that
She didn't want you at the crib. So why would she offer? She didn't even know you was there either. So how the fuck would she offer you to come? Yep.
Talk to her. Well, there was some losing though because of Mexico. So then mine was the only one working, but then mine kept glitching out. So we didn't really have her because of Mexico. Probably if you were hooked up to the Mexican network. So way back then, so we wanted to talk to her. What? When did you want to talk to Nikki before? I think it was right when we went to Arizona. It's when we talked to her. But I don't know when that was. I just know it was right before we got to Mexico. We talked to her as we were making our way out to Mexico or whatever. But then she was talking about she's busy. She doesn't want to talk. Going on walks. Like I said, she's a busy person. I'm not gonna keep an old woman. I'm not gonna get yelled at by somebody. So we just kept traveling and stuff, and we were maybe
so you just left her
is doing her own thing. Let's not bother her. Got it. That's how that went.
You kept going.
When did you guys meet
The agents let Caitlin know that an old boyfriend of hers had alerted authorities when he had received messages saying that she had done some terrible things.
If only I could just get some help and
You got no heels, cuz.
I understand that you want to be an adult, and that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Need some heels, cuz.
I'm going to talk to you face to face right now about the issue that
I
we
need
have
some
with this,
heels.
okay?
Look, that was the
So
lead
it
contact.
doesn't kill two people. Okay, but like, you understand he has access to be able to hack it. Let me finish. Okay. So it doesn't kill two people. Okay, but like, you understand he has access to be able to hack it. Let me finish.
What the fuck? He has access to people to hack it?
We can't find Nikki. We don't know she's out. I didn't know she was missing.
What do you mean? You was the last person with her. You said you left.
Have her car. And you guys had all her credit cards. I know that she went missing. So who killed her?
What the fuck? Hey. That bitch is evil. Lock this bitch up. This bitch said, damn. So who killed her? What the fuck?
My brain doesn't let me process that because I have a brain injury.
The agents let Caitlin know that an old boyfriend of hers had alerted authorities when he had received messages saying that she had done some terrible things.
I understand what you're saying. You're not a victim, okay? I understand that you want to be an adult, and that's fine. I'm going to talk to my consultant. I'm going to talk to you face to face right now about the issue that we have with this, okay? So it doesn't kill two people. Okay, but like, you understand he has access to be able to hack it. Let me finish. Okay.
That's the most goofiest shit I ever heard.
We can't find Nikki. We don't know where she's at. I didn't know she was missing. And you guys have her car. And you guys had all her credit cards. I know that she went missing. Damn. So who killed her? We don't know. No, but I want to know who killed her because she was a nice mom.
Because she was a nice mom.
Haven't been seen for a while. And it says we can see people. We don't know that she's
Bitch, he is 32,
okay,
33.
Now, me, when I thought that she was doing perfectly fine and everything, I told you I didn't send those messages. He's been able to hack my account. What we're trying to figure
He's been able to hack your. Why would this nigga text? Why would he fucking text you? Text himself talk about you killed somebody, like then tell the police, nigga. Like what was the point of that? Ain't no pussy that good, gang. That bitch lying.
And then Jonathan is now associated with her.
You hear what this bitch just said? Take the 50.
He wouldn't do that. He cared about her. He made sure that me and her ate. Like he made meals for us and was trying to get his mom to eat and stuff. Like she wouldn't eat just because like her dentures would always, be in her mouth and she didn't like she felt uncomfortable eating like
That's what the fuck I call teamwork, nigga.
It's okay to eat like that. Like, my girlfriend's okay with you. Like, she has to eat it for herself. Like, mom, come play cards with us. Mom, come do this. Like, we want you to be a part of this. How old is your mom? I don't know that.
Now that Caitlin is on shakier ground and her resolve is wavering, they let her in on more information they have. While Caitlin and Jonathan were heading on their meandering path to Mexico, they had left a trail behind them.
So, Jonathan took a gun to a pawn shop here in El Paso and told people that his mom was dead.
That's what happens when I'm Moon Knight.
So,
he did? What the fuck? Bro. Cuz shut the fuck up. You play Moon Knight.
What's that? MVP.
Nigga, you sit in the back and throw shit. This bitch said he did. This bitch is crazy.
So she's dead. Did you guys find the body? No, I'm being serious. I don't know what happened. That's the reason why I'm asking. Did you guys find the body?
This bitch capping on her teeth.
Okay, I'm gonna change my color again.
Man, you should have heard some of the shit she said. He said, bro, she's weird as fuck.
be waiting to open her doors to you. And I think she deserves to be open properly, right? I didn't know she was dead, so I don't know the problem with that.
So you really don't.
I didn't know she was dead. Like, literally, when we left the house and everything, she was fine.
I thought she went with you.
Like, she was literally laying in bed on her phone.
Caitlin may or may not have realized that her explanations have run her into a dead-end street. The agents push a bit more, firmly, but still maintain the trust levels they had established with her early on.
She's not missing them. I don't know. She can't be dead. Why? Because she was fine when we left.
When we have, not only do we have the pawn shop owner's statement, we have the gun now, and then we also have video surveillance putting you guys at the pawn shop.
I know we went to the pawn shop or whatever,
so
but I didn't know about the gun. I knew that was, he wanted to pawn something to get money to be able to go into Mexico. That's all I knew, because they said that there's a border where you have to pay to get in.
Right. We also have another pawn shop where I'm sure that other items were pawned off at that one too.
What else?
And Hannah's right. So when we talk to him,
knife,
and he's gonna try to point the finger at you. We're trying to help you.
He's trying to get you.
There's a difference between being 17 and being 33. Okay?
I get that, but I literally...
Charge your ass as an adult. She playing dumb.
I think you do know.
Well, it's a matter of fact of, put it all on him, even though it's not all on him, or go to jail. So it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Oh shit, bro.
Okay. Her job is
She finna rap.
Cuz, where you at, man?
I'm watching this video, then you should come watch it with your bitch ass, nigga. Be a real supporter, earn some points.
Cuz, where you at, man?
I'm hard.
Cuz, where you at, man?
Hey, shut the fuck up. Watch it.
It was on me. I told him that I didn't have $5. I ran away from an independent living house, and I told him he had $5, to kill her, and he told me that he couldn't do it
You
because
said
I
he
was
had
his mom.
$5. What?
It was on me. I told him that I didn't have $5.
She said it was all her.
I ran away from an independent living house, and I told him he had $5, to kill her, and he told me that he couldn't do it because I was his mom, and so he wouldn't do it. So I strangled her out, and I took a rock and banged her head a whole bunch of times, and then I told him about it, and he was shocked. So then I let him give him a moment. He threw up, and then we went to go get cleaning supplies that I cashed out and stuff, and then
you hear what she just said?
we cleaned up the body, cleaned up everything.
She said she gave that nigga 5 hours to kill his mama, and he said no, he couldn't do it because of his mama. So she did it. She strangled her, bashed her head a couple times, kept bashing her and shit. The motherfucker until she was out. Then he told her that he killed her. I mean, she told him that he killed her. And he was shocked. And you still like this bitch? What the fuck, bro? What's wrong with niggas? Ain't no way, boy.
The house. We disposed her body in the trash.
You put your mama in the trash, guy.
He couldn't do it, so I, was the one that put the body in the trash. And then after that, we took his ankle thing off, and then we went on the run. And most of the way, he was really struggling with it because it was his mom, and he needed marijuana. And that's the reason why, there was marijuana gummies in the car when they tried to get into Mexico.
That's not what you said. We had we let her, but
They've gotten what they wanted to hear from Caitlin. She has implicated herself and Jonathan in the murder of Nicole Jones. At this point, with no body discovered, they had not even been able to establish that a murder had even happened. It looks like things were a done deal.
What was this nigga
And
think he was
then
doing,
Caitlin
nigga?
opens up and offers something more.
I also killed another person in Arizona in a
What's wrong with this
drive-by.
nigga, man? I'm Moon Knight, nigga.
Also committed 2 arsons in Arizona in the middle of nowhere. Don't know where that was either. Okay. So it was a drive-by. I, loaded the gun and stuff and shot the person, and I left real fast, and then after that I washed off the rest of the
Jimmy was
gun.
just shooting random motherfuckers.
Where were you?
In the driveway.
I know
These
I was
motherfuckers
in
is
Phoenix. There's Tucson that we were also in, and I drove it over. Do you know where the driveway happened at? In Tucson. Are you certain that there are 15? I don't know what happened. I just remember pulling up and then out of the window and shooting. Was it a male, woman, old, young? I think it was a woman. Do you remember how old she looked? She looked old and she had glasses. She was by to the restaurant. Okay. Did you see her fall to the ground? No. Are you sure that it hit her? I was so quick to get out of there because of the loud shot. Were you in the car?
What is wrong with you? Why you just start killing random motherfuckers?
You were in the driver's seat. Is there a reason, like,
send her ass to the
that
psych ward. She don't need to get out. Try her ass in the
well, I
dog.
killed someone, so I might as well kill another.
She is. She already killed someone, so she might as well kill another. What the fuck?
He just told me that he has a bad feeling that it was all gonna catch up, and that, he can't believe he killed his mom, and that he misses his mom, and, basically, that he wish he didn't do it. Did he kill his mom? I killed her, but he, he kind of helped with the body attraction, but then after him dropping the seed, I told him, "Let me do it, you can't do this."
Nigga, what? Dropping
They
seed?
have to get back to the subject of the death of Nicole.
Look.
That is the crime.
Then after him dropping the seed, I told him, "Let me do it, you can't do
Dropping the
this."
seed. What the fuck is that?
They have to get back to the subject of the death of Nicole. That is the crime before them, and there will be an opportunity to match up her admission of the drive-by shooting afterwards.
That, you strangled her. How did you do that? Okay, where was she when that happened?
She was trying to get something out of the fridge, and I flipped her over and started doing it, and then I took the rock that I had, got right on the floor, and I started throwing it at her head.
Is that what the scratches are on your arm?
I don't know what these are.
No. Remember, if you lift up your sleeves, the other ones, are they from her?
No.
No?
Oh, these are self-harm marks.
Okay. Cutting? Yeah. Yeah.
Did she fight at all?
Yeah.
What? Did she fight at all? She was very in shock, so she didn't fight. The only thing I remember is hackling with blood still up in her mouth,
Was that after she was hit with the rock? Did that happen?
Yeah, and then there was blood clots that started coming out of her.
Out of where?
I think
Bitch has no remorse. I'm sorry.
I did it for 5 minutes, hit her with the rock, and then I kept strangling her. And then after that, after strangling her for like a good, like at least 10 minutes, I started banging really hard with the rock again.
So after the first 5 minutes of strangling her, do you think that she had passed away at that point, or?
I think it's whenever I stopped strangling her and put down the rock that she finally laid out.
Okay.
Did that happen in the morning or the night?
It happened in the morning, and then the body was disposed of that night.
Okay.
She wouldn't let us be together. Like, nobody would let us be together, and it's kind of sad because it's like, it's obviously, like, I want this, like, I want him, like, I don't care if he's old, I don't care if by the time I turn 18 he's about to be an old ass man, I don't. I love him. There's nobody like him, is what I was trying to
This bitch
explain
has
to him.
no
And then I even told him, like,
process
you
of
know,
how time works.
this is the reason why I killed your mom, because she's being very inappropriate with you, and she wouldn't let us be together. If only she would have let us be together, I don't think I would have ever become a murderer in my life.
Caitlin had proven to be anything but a little girl lost. She would be officially arrested and held for extradition back to Ohio to face the heaviest charges possible. Jonathan, after serving a couple of days for marijuana possession in a cramped Mexican jail cell, is turned over to the authorities in El Paso. Jonathan has no way of knowing what Caitlin has told the FBI agents. He just knows he's being held and that they know about the fugitive arrest warrant out for him. After reading him his rights and him waffling on requesting a lawyer, Special Agent Baumley and FBI Task Force Officer Michael Volpe sit down with Jonathan to allow him to explain why he's there. Once again, they allow him to talk freely, joking with him now and then, and offering some shared life experience comments to help put the man at ease. They begin with how he and Caitlin first got together. Only an audio recording of Jonathan's interrogation was made available.
Just because I'm trying to learn about you, like, how you and Caitlin
Oh, fuck y'all, get the little girl shit.
We met through a dating website.
You're on what website?
Mingle 2.
Mingle
2.
Like number 2 or spelled out 2?
No, number 2.
Okay.
I was getting ready to delete it after having zero luck with all the dating websites and like trying to find somebody to date. She sent me a message, so I was like, all right, cool, I'll entertain the idea of the message and see what this is. Probably going to be a scam. I say, oh, spend some time with me, it's going to call, how it always is on dating websites.
Right.
And then we started talking and we hit it off.
And how long had you guys been chatting on Mingle 2 before you guys?
I'm trying to think, this was last year.
Oh, okay.
Probably about a month and a half.
Before you guys physically saw each other?
Yes.
Do you remember, like, when last year you met her?
It was the beginning of October.
Was when you saw each other the first time?
Yes, like actual face-to-face.
Okay. And then, so like end of September, you guys you found each other on Mingle 2?
Yes.
Okay. And then how many times have you guys seen each other since, I guess, October?
Well, we were together for like 2.5 weeks. I got arrested. Well, we both got picked up in Wood County for walking to a gas station at 5 o'clock in the morning to get something to drink and some cat food for a stray cat. Never again am I going to try to adopt a stray cat.
After hearing about his time in jail and how Caitlin came back to see him just after his release, showing up late one night, he goes on to tell the agents that his mom was probably off on a bender, claiming that she had recently developed an alcohol problem, along with marijuana and cocaine usage. The agents, knowing what Caitlin has already told them, give him time to speak and to get the false story out and out of the way. He does say that there was a lot of jealousy between his mother and Caitlin, that he could see it boiling up from the beginning.
I told her that I wanted to get back, be back together with Caitlin, where we could see each other, date, and whatever, and she just was not happy about that at all. She was like, no, as long as you're living under my roof, not happening, blah, 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 blah.
Jonathan, at the end of almost 2 weeks that included the murder of his mother, a cross-country road trip in a stolen car, and the 2 nights spent in a Mexican jail, just breaks and begins telling the story once the Texas pawn shop information comes back up.
My gut's telling me to get a lawyer.
You're right as you're right, but based off the things that I've heard Caitlin say about you, I don't see that in you, especially when it comes to your mother. I can't imagine you would have treated your mother that way. Again, I'd love to talk to you about it, because Caitlin said a lot of hateful things about you and what may have transpired. So if that's something you want to do, I would love to do it.
Can I get fucking healed?
That, both Mom and Caitlin have said about each other that, you know, if one or the other interfered with something that they would
Destroy that motherfucker.
go to the extreme about, like my mom
Oh
saying,
my
oh,
God,
let her be crazy, she tries something, I'll shoot her, blah, 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 blah. And I know Caitlin has said on numerous occasions, like the first time we were together and when we started talking the second time, saying, if your mom tries to stop us from being together, then I will take action in my own hand. Not knowing exactly what she meant by that or anything, kind of a vague statement.
And then they lean into the man's remaining feelings and make an appeal to the son who had lost his mom, the one who had spent his entire life being taken care of by her. Jonathan knows the gig is up, and he is at a time of reckoning. He asks for a lawyer. The agents agree that it is his right, and they walk out of the room to obtain one for him. It is just a matter of seconds, alone in the room with his own thoughts and guilt, before the man gets up, knocks on the door, and decides to come clean.
I decided that I'd rather talk to you guys instead of wait for a lawyer about the mom thing.
So I'm gonna let you kind of know the topic of discussion, so I'm gonna let you say what you want to say, and then if we have questions, we'll ask questions.
I was trying to cover for Caitlin by telling you I didn't know about my mom.
Okay.
We ended up going back to my mom's in my house after midnight when mom was asleep, so they didn't have to deal with each other, and my mom didn't know Caitlin was going to be up here. Oh, sorry, in Ohio.
I got it now.
So we go back to the house. Caitlin and I hang out in my room. We cuddled and fell asleep. Wake up the next morning. I go out to have a cigarette, come back in, go back into my room, hang out with Caitlin for a minute, go out to the kitchen or dining room area, hang out with my mom, smoke a joint with her. She's like, oh, I'm about to go to the dispensary, blah, 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 blah. Do you want anything? It's like, oh, the only thing I want is a cart if you can get it. And, you know, and she's like, all right, well, I'll get ready to go. I'm like, okay. Well, I went back into my room, grabbed my cigarettes, and I was going to go out for another cigarette. Well, when I come back in, well, firstly, when I'm outside, I hear something. I don't know exactly what it was, but definitely sounded like a voice struggling.
The voice struggling?
Yeah, like somebody getting hit or something. It just, like, through the door and everything, it just sounded like, you can't really tell exactly what they were saying or anything. So I got up and finished my cigarette and went in. When I went in, okay, I'm not going to forget the scene because there was a lot of blood. Caitlin went and I guess, I don't know when, like my mom was getting ready to walk off the door or what, she was in the kitchen and there was just blood everywhere. I don't know if Caitlin like stabbed her or hit her over the head with something. And I immediately went into shock and just so much blood. I don't know exactly what else she did. I confronted her about it and she's like, I had to do it so we could be together. Well,
and where are you guys at when this conversation's happening?
Just outside of the kitchen. She has blood on her. I stepped in some because of how it got everywhere. So I had a little bit on like my socks. Just from the splatter getting everywhere. I don't know, like I said, if she stabbed her, cut her, or what.
Can I get some fucking help?
All over the kitchen. At this point, I sit down at the kitchen table and I'm looking at her and I'm like, what did you do? And she straight up told me she stopped her from being in the way of us being together. From there, we went.
And while you're in the house, do you see your mother?
Yeah,
see like where she's bleeding from or anything?
I couldn't tell because there's everywhere there was blood.
Okay.
Everywhere. Like everything was coated. It was on the fridge. It was on the stove. It was like near the sink. Didn't get into the sink. Go figure. The one easy place to clean didn't go.
Jonathan then goes to explain how the two went out to a local grocery store and then to a Lowe's home improvement store to get cleaning supplies, a pair of tarps, and some lunch at McDonald's. They've cleaned everything up, dumped his mother into a dumpster at an old apartment complex where he had lived at one time, and then decided that it was time to make the road trip. They eventually get around to asking him about the shooting Caitlin claimed happened along the way.
Is there anything that was maybe firearm related that happened?
Yes. Caitlin wanted to shoot somebody.
Okay.
I tried talking her out of it. She said that if I couldn't accept that she wanted to do that, then she didn't want to be together. And me at this point, not having anybody else in the world, only having her, was like, all right, let's go for a drive. I purposely went down like neighborhoods and stuff that people would not have been out at that time.
Your own time?
It was 5 or 6 in the morning, so like right before and like right at the start of the morning rush.
Okay. Daylight or still dark out?
The sun was coming up.
Okay.
Then I remember driving down a road that there was a bus stop thing,
Like a little
building thing.
Yeah.
Not like a building, but like a little overhang for sure.
Like awning.
Yeah.
Typical bus stop
Yeah.
type stuff. Yeah.
And then I hear a bang. And I booked it straight to the expressway. And I don't think she hit anybody.
What did she say after?
Well, she complained about her ears ringing, which happens when you don't wear ear protection in a closed environment and shoot a gun. And then, like as we were getting on the expressway, which wasn't even a couple minutes later, she's like, I can't believe I just shot somebody. I'm like, well, did you actually hit them? She's like, I don't know, I think so.
The agents had had enough, and Jonathan would be led to the local jail and held over to be extradited to stand trial in Ohio. Both Caitlin and Jonathan would eventually plead guilty to the murder of Nicole Jones and be sentenced to life in prison. The body of Nicole Jones still has not been found to this day. Justice may have been served in the end, but the cold and callous act will sit long and lonely in the small community just outside of Toledo, Ohio. Caitlin's view of the killing shared during her interrogation leaves a chilling reminder of how little some think of another's life.
Bad about killing her, or are you just kind of like whatever?
I don't feel bad about it because she was inappropriate towards him and she wouldn't let us be together. And you know what they say, like, you know, let people do them, let people be people, like, don't interfere with somebody's life because it's going to come right back on you.
Do you think she deserved to die for that?
Yeah, I do. And I mean, it's not like she was about to die anyways. So it's not like, it's literally, like, we all die at some point. It's not like she was literally about to die.
She was literally about to die?
No, I'm meaning it as, like, she was old already. And people, all of us, people in general, we all die at some point. And she was literally close to that age of dying. So I feel like it doesn't matter if I killed her or not. And I killed her because she gave me really two good reasons. She wouldn't let us to be together, and she was very inappropriate towards him. And it's like, she didn't have friends, she didn't have family. So honestly, it's like I killed a nobody.
What? How? I was on it!
I don't know about that person. I did that one out of anger. I just wanted to blow off steam, and I didn't even think about that.
If you found this case compelling, don't forget to like the video, comment down below, and give us your take on it.
That
And
fucking
please
nigga was
subscribe to
trash
the
for
channel. We're on our way to 1 million, and we'd love to have you along. Also, hit the notification bell to know when we're revealing a new shocking case. Until next time, stay safe and keep your eyes peeled. You never know what's lurking in the shadows.